FAST is defined as free ad-supported television. A definition of this would be a form of streaming TV that delivers programming similar to traditional TV. It allows access to a diverse amount of content at no direct costs. The growth of FAST services in the past few years has been great for consumers with the amount of content available. However, it's come at a price. So with the growth of FAST and the adoption of ad tiers of streaming services, we can see that viewers are content with that value exchange between content and ads. Magnite did a research where we surveyed individuals, and 76% of them said they would use a new free or reduced cost ad-based streaming services. With FAST, it allows viewers to kind of have that traditional TV sense where they're able to lean back and channel surf. Now that bridges all types of users, primarily the older audiences, as well as younger, more cost-conscious. Now, this is great for content owners and networks and studios and broadcasters because this is a new addition to the current distribution channel and adds an incremental revenue stream for them.
FAST in general is gaining strong prominence across various markets. The US is definitely leading from an adoption point of view, but Europe and markets like APAC and MENA are definitely following behind. We see a lot more growth when it comes to channels launching in these individual markets, but also uptake from a consumer perspective and advertisers being more and more interested in utilizing the opportunity across these channels. The shift in general is accelerated by different factors. I would say that in the US, it's definitely due to the fact that historically speaking, you've had a lot of very expensive pay TV packages here compared to FAST, which is completely free for the consumer. In markets such as the UK, it's slightly different. FAST, of course, is for free, but the main thing is that consumers can now adopt and consume additional content for free and at their convenience, using the various services they're accessing, such as streaming services, device manufacturers, and operating systems. FAST in general is really trying to replicate a linear TV environment, with the difference being that linear channels are being inserted via broadcast compared to FAST channels that are inserted digitally. And there's a variety of differences when we look at both. From a linear TV point of view, the channel lineup within your EPG is very much governed by local authorities. Whereas in the FAST world, the streaming service or the device manufacturer, the smart TV so to say, they have the full control over which channel is delivered in which position. That gives them the ability to really customize the lineup to the consumer, making sure that very high-performing channels are on top compared to channels that are potentially not as performant. They can therefore create a better environment for audiences and create a better content experience. From an advertiser perspective, FAST can now be included in the more general media mix alongside TV and other video delivery to get a better picture of their consumer and run the most effective campaigns. For other advertisers, FAST now offers the opportunity to be on the big screen for the first time due to the fact that linear TV is fairly expensive, whereas FAST offers them the availability to target consumers and therefore get the best ROI out of their advertising campaigns. When we talk about how FAST is perceived by audiences, then there is really no difference. It's all just TV for them. Linear and FAST is in most cases nowadays delivered in the same EPG anyway. So from a consumer perspective, they're just surprised that there's more content that they can consume. Looking at the market share, we can see that Europe is definitely growing quite significantly. Currently, we look at a figure of around 17%, which is estimated to grow to around 22% by the year 2029. And then when we look at the content itself, in the very beginning of FAST, we definitely saw a lot of unbranded content. The way FAST really began was with media owners that had short-form video, which they stitched together into a linear stream and displayed into these new EPG guides. Nowadays, the picture looks quite different. A lot of tier one broadcasters are now launching their fast channels across the world, really elevating the quality of fast across Europe in general. In Europe in particular, localization is very important. So we see a lot of local broadcasters creating their channel lineup and launching such across the different services. With more and more channels coming into the space, it's now time for smart devices, for instance, that govern the EPG to optimize such, because less is really more. Scale is growing significantly, not just with new channels being launched across different services, but also with new market entrants, such as independent operating systems, sort of tier 2, tier 3, smart TV manufacturers, but also telcos that are now entering this space and leveraging the existing infrastructure that they have and the access to their audiences. All in all, we see a transformation from linear to digital. It's all TV in the end, and from a consumer perspective, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the actual content. Content discovery is a big topic. We all know it takes us forever to find the right piece that we want to watch. So the smart TVs and the actual companies that govern the EPG need to become better at that, and I know it's a big focus for all of them anyway. And the second piece is the user experience when it comes to the actual ad delivery as well. So replicating a linear experience in which you have a perfectly executed ad break, we need the same in fast environments. And there's a long way to go for some devices, but we are definitely seeing improvements here.
The growing interest for content owners and advertisers, well, I think we should take a step back and look at the evolution of FAST, which really started with niche content and heavily archived. However, as it's grown, we are seeing more TV quality content available. For content owners who have a strong back catalog, they can create specific channels dedicated to one show or even specific genres, such as true crime. However, we are heading into the space now where the popularity of FAST allows for new originals to be created specifically for these channels. The path to entry for advertisers on FAST is far lower than the high investments that they would have to make across traditional TV. This allows them to test and learn, be able to test around with audiences, curate specific genres, specific shows, and utilize contextual targeting as well. There's about 3 misconceptions of FAST. 1, the lack of quality content. Well, we know that's incorrect because you have content owners, broadcasters, networks, and studios who are launching these FAST channels. So anyone can binge on their favorite shows or discover new shows they didn't know existed. Content owners, broadcasters, studios, and networks are the ones creating these FAST channels. So we know that it is TV-produced quality. So anyone can really binge on these shows. 2, viewing experience is not the same as linear. We know that's false because the lean-back experience that you get with traditional TV, you also get with FAST channels as well, and the discovery of all types of shows and content similar to linear TV. The content is pre-scheduled. TV is TV. 3, who's watching it anyway? Well, it ranges, but the user experience is very similar to linear TV, and this all originated with the distribution from the TV manufacturers. However, we are seeing this broaden in terms of who is adopting it. We are seeing telcos starting to embrace FAST channels within their EPGs to open up their viewership.
The future looks bright for FAST. We're already seeing strong adoption here, and this is only going to accelerate further. TV, FAST, and AVOD should really be part of a more holistic strategy for media owners, because the whole point is that you need to reach your audience wherever they are nowadays. And as we've explored earlier, consumption is shifting and changing. From a media owner perspective, you should really look at all of these environments more holistically. linear TV, AVOD, FAST, they should all be part of a larger strategy to reach your audience wherever they are found nowadays. It's incredibly important to broaden your audience and to maximize reach, but also to stay up to date in a world where big tech companies are coming into this space, potentially competing with local broadcasting businesses. And then from a buy-side perspective, make sure you utilize the data capabilities that FAST and AVOD are offering these days. So looking at first-party data, e-commerce data, ACR data, finding the best modeling in order to reach your audience, to deliver the best campaign effectiveness in order to finally cater for the highest ROIs possible. From a media buyer perspective, it's not only important to work with the right content owner in order to deliver the most effective campaigns, but also work hand in hand with technology companies, including SSPs and ad servers, to deliver the right message in the most enhanced way possible.